What's up, everybody? Welcome in to Spreads and Subs, Ep.09. Wait a second for everybody to get in here, and then we could get this show on the road. Got to finish out the week strong here. Still got a chance to come out 500 and all that good stuff. We're back at home base now, so hopefully it should be a lot better. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. All right. So let's get started here talking about Wednesday, which was our last day we did the show. We did not have the show on Thursday, so this is our first day back. And Wednesday we did all right. We went, of our 10 bets, we went 5-5 overall, 4-2 NBA, 1-3 MLB. So that wasn't great in the MLB front. And then our best bets sadly go 1-2 on the day. So now the three shows we've had this week, we've gone 0-3, 2-1 barely, and then 1-2. So we've had a tough week. Should have went 3-0 that second day. But we hope to bounce back, go 3-0 today, and even that out. Before we get into the good stuff here, though, shout out to Bet Openly for sponsoring the show. Best odds in the game for Bet Openly. Go to the link in the description to access Bet Openly. When you deposit $50, take a screenshot, send it to me on Twitter at JReedNBA. That's JREIDNBA on Twitter. And I will be able to get you into a giveaway for some cash. So hit that link in the description and enter that raffle by sending me proof that you signed up and deposited $50 on Twitter at JReedNBA, JREIDNBA. All right, so we're sitting here on Friday, 3-6 on best bets in the week. Not great. 11-13 on overall best bets over the past couple weeks. We have the worst part about this week so far is we actually have done pretty solid overall on our 10 bets. If this is your first time in the show, I give you 10 bets on the for the day. I cut it down to 3. Those are the 3 best bets that we tracked. Those are my favorite 3 of the day. Obviously before the game start. And we've done great on our 10 bets. Like, even on Tuesday, we went 10-1 on our total bets. But for the one that we lost was one of our best bets, so we go 2-1 on best bets on that day. And that was a day that really could have sparked us up. But today, bit of an interesting one, as we have only one NBA game, the Knicks and the Pacers, Game 6. We have a couple hockey games and then a full slate of baseball, as always. For today, my 10 bets, I'm going to have 4 NBA bets, 2 NHL bets for you, and 4 MLB bets. So let's get it underway here. If you're on YouTube, you can see the visual. If you're on TikTok, go to the YouTube channel at hashmark sports, and we are on there live as well. So if I can get my mouse to start working, I can get this graphic for you, YouTube. Hold on one second. There we go. Should be good to go now. First bet of the day. Knicks plus 6.5 against the Pacers. The way the odds makers are looking at this series just kind of confuses me. They had the Knicks favored by just 3 in MSG, where the Knicks have been great at. And then we go to Indy to play the Pacers, or the Knicks go to Indy to play the Pacers, and the Pacers are favored by 7 points in this game, basically. That doesn't make a ton of sense to me. So that's why I'm rolling on this side with the Knicks. I think the Knicks are just the better, more sound team. The thing about the Pacers is I think their offense is just so good. They shoot a lot of threes. And when they're hitting their threes, they're absolutely one of the best teams in the playoffs. The problem is that they're just not always hitting their threes. And at the end of the day, I'm going to trust some good defense to be consistent for me over trusting some... I had to turn my TV off. Over trusting a team that chucks a lot of threes. And when they make them, they're great. But it's way more inconsistent than great defense. So I'm rocking with that. Knicks plus 6.5 in this game. Second NBA bet of the day. I got Josh Hart over 14.5 points. This is hit in 8 of 11 games, playoff games for the Knicks this year. It's hit in 3 of the 5 games this series. I'm looking at the wrong one. It has had hit in 8 of 11 games in the playoffs so far. I'm betting on the Knicks to win the series tonight. I'm betting on them to finish it off against the Pacers. And Josh Hart getting 15 would definitely help that for them. So when I could see a trend like 8 of 11, and we know when Josh Hart doesn't play well, it's because he's not getting a lot of minutes, which means they lose. And if we're betting on the Knicks to win this game, more likely than not, he's going to be able to cover that 14.5 points for us. So that is our second bet of the day. Third NBA bet of the day, Tyrese Halliburton under 4.5 rebounds. This is hit in 6 of 11 playoff games for the Pacers and Halliburton. It's hit in 3 of the 5 games this series. He doesn't rebound well in losses, and we're full-on predicting a loss here. I'm predicting that this is going to be the night where we see a lot of series in both the NHL and NBA end, and I think this is one of them. I think the Knicks are going to go into Indy and beat them. Halliburton has been very inconsistent on his rebounds, especially in the losses. The games where they win, he hits it. The games where they lose, he doesn't. And if we're predicting a loss, more likely than not, we're going to see Josh Hart over 14.5 points and Halliburton under 4.5 rebounds. What do we got here? Should I rock with this parlay? Knicks, Mavs, and Wolves to win money line. You mean like over the next 2 days? Knicks, Mavs, Wolves. I don't hate that. I like the Knicks and the Mavs. I'm iffy on the Wolves in Game 7. That series is just so unpredictable. A lot of blowouts. But honestly, I'm sure you can tell me what the odds are on that. I'm sure the odds are pretty good on that. I don't hate that parlay at all. But moving on here. Last NBA bet I got of the day. Obi Toppin over 1.5 assists. This is undefeated when we bet it this year. We bet it twice already in this series. He's hit it both times. So it's not plus money anymore. We were getting it at like plus 100, plus 120, and that was great for us. We were cashing on that, but now I believe it's at minus 110. But we're still gonna take that until that gets to like minus 130 or 40. We're gonna keep hammering that because it's hitting. It's covered in 4 of the 5 games this series, and the fact that the numbers are trending down on this pick makes me like it even more. It means Vegas is seeing what we're starting to see, and they're catching up to us making our money. So that is it for my NBA bets. I'll run over it one more time for you. Knicks plus 6.5 tonight. Josh Hart over 14.5 points. Tyrese Halliburton under 4.5 rebounds. And Obi Toppin over 1.5 assists. All right. A couple NHL bets and 4 MLB bets here for you. Start with the 2 NHL ones. I got Dallas Stars money line. They won both games in Colorado this series. They haven't gotten outshot by much this series at all. They have been the team out shooting for the most part. The Avs are, of course, they have won 2 games as this is now Game 6, but their only true win was Game 5. They played really, really well in Game 5. They didn't play well in Games 2 through 4, where they, of course, lost all those games. And Game 1, they needed a monster comeback to get back into that game. I feel like it's not as likely to see that. I think the Dallas Stars have proven that they're the better team in this series, and for them to be at plus 100 is a steal for us, especially when they've swept them in Colorado so far this series. And we're sticking in that game for the second NHL bet. Excuse me, my bad, you two. I haven't been pulling these down for you. But Stars, Avs, under 6.5. This is hit in both games in Colorado this series. The Avs have just not been able to score at home for some reason in the playoffs. They've been struggling. Game 5 was the only time that the Avs offense really got it going. And I kind of think that was a fluke, if I'm being completely honest. I just feel like the Stars have their numbers so far in this series. And I'm going to continue to ride with the Stars and assuming they're going to finish off the series tonight. Like I said, I think today is going to be the day where we see series end. I think we see the Knicks one end. I think we see the Stars one end here tonight as well. I'm not sure what the number is on that under 6.5, but the Dallas Stars money line, once again, is plus 100. Moving on here. Pirates money line, minus 110. Kyle Hendricks is on the mound for the Cubs. He's not been pitching well at all this entire season. He's easily their worst pitcher. 10 ERA, over 10 ERA, I should say. And for the Pirates, we have the chosen one, Paul Skeens, on the mound for his second start. He actually pitched pretty well in his first start. The only problem was his bullpen came in and immediately allowed the 2 runs in that he had on base when he got out of the game in the 4th inning. His only problem was he had too many pitches early on. He struggled in the first couple innings, but he was still putting guys down. I believe he had 7 Ks in 4 innings. Gave up 3 runs because the bullpen gave up a couple of his. But regardless, he was great, and that was against this Cubs team. The Pirates are hitting it better just in general. The past week or so, they've been hitting it a lot better. They went on a huge slump for the past 25 games prior to this week. Now they're starting to get into a little bit of a rhythm. I think they continue that. I think they beat the Cubs today, go up 2-0 in the series, get Paul Skeens his first MLB win. Moving on here, pick number 8, second pick of the MLB. I got the Brewers money line. Brewers are an above-average road team. Just on the season they have been. The Astros have just been terrible. It's honestly, for me, it's just insane to see how bad the Astros have been this year. They've just been like the model of consistency over like the past 7-8 years, and they're having a horrible start to the year. I'm sure they will turn it around eventually, but it's pretty crazy to see. Hunter Brown is on the mound for the Astros. He's been horrible, 0-4, almost an 8 ERA. They haven't gotten any hits for him when he's been in the game, but he hasn't been doing them any favors as well. I'm going to go with the Brewers, especially getting them at. Let me check for us real quick what it's at right now. I wrote this down last night, but give me 2 seconds. God, there's so many MLB games on today. It's at -110. They got Freddie Peralta on the mound. I think the Brewers are going to be able to lock in and beat a team that they should be beating in the Astros, who have just been so bad this year, like I said. Number 9 here, we have the Mets money line against the Marlins. The Mets are not a great team, but the Marlins may be the worst team in the whole league. Jesus Luzardo's on the mound for the Marlins. He's been bad all year, as the whole team has been. Almost a 6 ERA from him. Mets, they're nearing 500 on the season. They're starting to play a lot better. The thing about the Mets is people expected them to be a lot worse at this point, but just when you think that they're going down a bad spot, they eventually lock back in. They beat the team that they should beat, and then they keep staying around that 500 range. And that's what the Marlins are. That's a team that they absolutely should beat. Christian Scott has been good in his short career so far for the Mets. He's had back-to-back good starts for them. This is his 3rd start. I'm expecting him to build on those starts, being able to continue to win for this Mets team. And he gets to play against a Marlins team that we know is just so bad. Moving on here to my final MLB pick of the day. If I can get it on the screen. There we go. Padres Brewers over 8.5. Padres Braves over 8.5. I don't know why I wrote it as Brewers on the graphic there, but it's Padres Braves over 8.5. Waldron is on the mound for the Padres, 1-5 with a 5 ERA for him. Fried has a good record, but a meh ERA. I feel like that just says a ton about the Braves offense. We know what they can do when they get hot. They haven't had the most insane season so far, but when their bats get hot, they're really hot. And if a guy like Fried can have, he's had a pretty mid start to his season, and he's still 3-1 with his record. So I think the Braves are just a team that's going to be able to go out there and rake. The Padres have been in a little bit of a slump recently, not a crazy slump, but prior to that, they were hitting the ball super, super well. We have 2 great offensive teams, 2 of the best offensive teams in the NL this year. And 2 pitchers that are giving up hits, and that, in my mind, just leads to an automatic overhit. But that's it. Those are our 10 bets. I'll run them over one more time before we go to the 3 best bets. Knicks plus 6.5. Josh Hart over 14.5. Halliburton under 4.5 rebounds. Obi Toppin over 1.5 assists. Dallas Stars money line. Stars Avs under 6.5. Pirates money line. Brewers money line, Mets money line, and Padres Braves over 8.5. Okay, my computer is bugging out right now, but all right, I think we're good. Let's cut to our final 3, our best 3 bets of the day. We need to get a better record today. We need to go at least 2-1. We're starting off Obi Toppin over 1.5 assists. It's hit every single time we bet it. It's hit every single time it's been our best bet. So we're going to keep rocking with it. Vegas is moving the line. They know that it's better for us. We know we've been killing this bet on Obi Toppin. He's been great this whole series. He's had the ball in his hands more than ever. And I think he continues to have his success. Obi Toppin over 1.5 assists. Second one, let's go. Reminder to everybody who's new here, I do pick these on live, so I'm making the decision actively. Let's go with, man, this is tough. Let's go with Dallas Stars money line. I know I've been so bad. I've been so bad at NHL. I'm not afraid to admit that I've been really bad this playoffs in NHL. But I'm due for a win. It's about time. I can't lose as many in a row as I have lost, and I'm just really, really confident in the Dallas Stars being able to end this series against the Avalanche. They played better for 5 of the 6 games this series, and they only have 5 of the 6 games this series, 4 of the 5 games this series. I was trying to do the math in my head, and they've only been they've lost 2 of them because the Avalanche played great in Game 5. They bodied them. Game 1 was a huge comeback for the Avalanche, and then Stars dominated games 2 through 4. So what I'm trying to say is I feel like they're due. They're out shooting them almost every game. Even in the games that the Avalanche won, Dallas Stars were right there shooting with them. I think putting pucks on net is just the key to success in the NHL, especially this year. That and great goaltending, and Dallas Stars have had both of those. So I'm going to go with the Dallas Stars money line plus 100. And for my third best bet, I don't want to be a homer here, but I'm going to do it anyways. Pirates money line minus 110. Like I said, Hendricks is on the mound for the Cubs. He's been their worst pitcher. He's been really, really bad all year. Skeens, he's getting in his second start. Hopefully his bullpen doesn't absolutely sell him this time. That is the thing with the Pirates. They have a bad bullpen, but at least for them, so do the Cubs. So I think we see a lot of runs in this game. I think we maybe see a little bit more help. Maybe not 7 guys walked in a row with the bases loaded like we saw last week when Skeens started, but I think he gets a little more help than that. And the Pirates, like I said, have been hitting it a little bit better over the past week and a half or so, and I think they'll be able to hit it well enough to get Skeens his first Major League W. So I'll repeat that one more time before we head out of here. My 3 best bets are Obi Toppin over 1.5 assists, the Dallas Stars money line plus 100, and the Pirates money line minus 110. Once again, thank you to Bet Openly for sponsoring the show. Go to Bet Openly, sign up, deposit $50, and send it to me on Twitter for proof at JReedNBA. Once again, betopenly.com, deposit $50, send it to me for proof at JReedNBA on Twitter, and I'll be able to enter you into a giveaway for some cash. All right, we need to go 3-0 to get this back to 500 for the week on our best bets. Obi Toppin over 1.5 assists, Dallas Stars money line plus 100, and Pirates money line minus 110. As always, we will be back starting on Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific, and I will see everybody next week.